When people ask me where I come from, I don't just say Norway. I say I'm a stril. And that usually gets people to pause. What's a stril, they ask. And the answer is easy. It's not what a stril is, it's who. I grew up on a rugged coastline on the island west of Bergen, where the sea shapes both the people and the land. Belonging to that edge between the ocean and the land, the safety and storms makes people who they are, with scattered islands and limited resources, but in other ways, enormous resources. The term stril comes from the old word striding, meaning stubborn, hardworking, and continuous. This is not an identity that you can buy or learn from a book. It's lived, breathed in with salt air, and passed on like legacy. Would you mind closing your eyes for me just for a second and take a walk down memory lane together with me? You're at the shoreline. It's an autumn, clear morning, a lot of colors. As you take a deep breath in, you can taste the salty, crisp air as you feel at ease. You're looking out on a nearly perfectly smooth ocean, and you can hear the seagulls blending perfectly with an old Saab diesel engine. You can feel that your heartbeat is in perfect harmony with your surroundings. These was my mornings in Skjekta with Grandpa, my anchor, where I know I have a safe harbor. Do you know where your safe harbor is? My anchor and my true definition of a stril is my grandfather, Hans Gulbrand, the one with a firm hand who taught me who I wanted to be. Born in 1930 in the house, he breathed in ocean air from his first to his last breath. Every morning with the same routine: breakfast before 6, then walking down to the boathouse, climbing in to the wooden open fishing boat which his father built. Going out, dragging and setting nets every day. He knew every current, every reef and every islet in his sleep. Every reef, every nutritionist place to get some great food. I can picture him as he dragging and setting nets with his crooked fingers, never cutting the engine, an engine beating like a clock, perfectly surrounded by seagulls and waves. I got to go with him in the mornings before school when I was young. 9 years old, I was dressed warmly and wrapped in his trust. He taught me all the practical, but also the unwritten one, the soulful trust in ocean, nature, and survival. I can picture him in his orange rain pants, smiling, steering the wheel with one hand, not in a hurry, because you can't go faster than the ocean lets you. Can you imagine going out every day in the Skjekta, dragging and setting nets, and not knowing how to swim? There's Grandpa. And more than that, he taught me a way of thinking. Depend on nature, create solution, and trust community. He had to be his own MacGyver everywhere. To be his own MacGyver, creating solution with whatever was at hand, making him a highly adaptable entrepreneur. Necessity was the mother of invention, and I'm sure he created solutions to problems that we're still thinking about today, to my grandma's frustration sometimes. Just before he was born, his father and his uncle built some large storehouses on the pier stretching along the shoreline at our harbor and over the fjords. Today, more than 100 years later, all houses still stand, surviving countless storms, with history and sea salt breathed into the walls. Breathed from exceptional practical innovation, they did what I had to do. My grandpa inherited both the mindset, business, assets, and values. The family house was a welcoming place, the first in the community with a phone line, then color TV where neighbors gathered to watch the news. He was manager at the store at the pier, and later he installed some bunkering facility where you can fuel your boat directly from shoreline, still today one of the few places in the area. One winter, some Scottish fishing boats came to our harbor seeking shelter from a storm. My grandpa did not speak a word English. The Scottish did not speak a word Norwegian, and they had no money. But with hand gestures, body language, mimics, and trust, my grandpa gave them food, shelter, and gasoline. That was his language, trust. That was his legacy. He said to me, a lot of people learn it, but not a lot of people learn to use it. Stril, where it's a culture where we learn to provide to each other, to rely on inherited knowledge of local currents, reefs, and weather patterns, knowledge gained through generations, understanding the shifting temperament of the sea, a temperament you might find in the Stril himself. Grandpa did not just build business, he built belonging, independence that knows when to lean on others. Legacy is what we inherit. It echoes through generations. As a mother and in business as a mental coach, I wanted to reflect on that. Who am I? Because identity matters. I wanted to reflect on the power, resilience, strength, and calmness of the people that grew up like me. If you see me skiing down the mountains today, you probably laugh, because I'm clinging for my sticks for dear life. I can't seem to find ease. I'm nervous both for me and for my kids. On the coastline, I'm the complete opposite. You can find us in a boat, fishing, jumping, swimming, kayaking, paddling, whatever it is, we're exploring, and my mind is at ease, my state is calm. To be a Stril is to learn to live with and off, together with, the rough nature that surrounds us. It gives us values, strength, and knowledge, and courage that I don't think we are fully grateful for. To teach my kids to enjoy a sunset as we're balancing the waves, I'm truly grateful for. One fast move, one unconscious moment, and you go deep in. But it learns you that you can always try again, adapt, learn, and try. As a mother, my calm is strong when we are exploring the coastline. As my husband says, it's fascinating to see how calm you are as your son at 8 are paddling across the fjords on the board on his own, or your girl going for a long swim. We are building memories together, connections to feelings of who we are. Stril is that, a way of being, calm where other panics, independent yet always grounded, innovative out of necessity, grounded in legacy, mindset, echoed through generations. A Stril knows when it pours, the wind is strong and the waves are crashing. That's when we learn the most. When we lead from who we are, and the strategies we choose become braver, calmer, and more sustainable. We must recognize our identity, discovering that life is a replica of how the sea shifts every day. Whatever our identity is, it's not an obstacle. It's a genuine source of strength and unique advantage. We don't have to create a new reality. We just have to believe in the one that we already live in. That is Stril, innovated out of scarcity, dignity born from work, safety born from each other, and a daily agreement to live with nature, not against it. So here's your invitation to name your anchor. Where do you belong so deeply that your story becomes generous, that your strategy becomes brave, and your state becomes calm? For me, that is the sea and the coastline. You need to find yours, stand in it, build from it, and thrive in it. In a world of shifting economics, industries, and technology, transformation will not come from pretending to be somewhere we're not. Transformation will come from authentic people and places who know who they are and act like it. We need to embrace our identity. We need to thrive in it. My grandpa was a Stril, and I am grateful to get to live that legacy. I'm a Stril too. And I can see when my kids are steering their way, I can see the calm in the storm echoing forward. That's our legacy.